Hi YouTube, Van Hyren here with another model kit review. And this one is on a Master Grade Kampfer Kai by Model Go-Go. Not a Bandai kit, this is actually originally a resin conversion kit for the Zaku 2.0 inner frame to make it a Kampfer in a little modern updated version of the Kampfer, which became popular in Mobile Suit Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket. It was the main antagonist suit against the NT-1 Alex, I believe is its designation. And my cameraman is confirming that, so awesome. But just a quick look at the box. It's a plain box. Good overall look of the Kampfer. A sticker here that came with it for Gundam Central. Great site to buy third-party kits. I didn't buy this from them, I got it off Amazon. But there's that. Pretty good box, but now let's get on to the main attraction, shall we? There we go. Y'all can laugh at that later. But right now we have the Kampfer Kai, which comes in a very good molded blue plastic, unlike the Bandai version, which comes in a lime green, almost teal green. Well, not lime green, teal green. And not much to say. It's a 2.0 conversion kit. Well, it's a conversion kit for the 2.0 Zaku, as I said before. And what the conversion kit actually does is make it that much taller in the foot. About an inch taller in the foot, about an inch taller right here in the hips, and expands the arms a little bit to make it an overall bigger kit. Now, we'll get to articulation, which the head has one joint here in the neck that's a pivot joint. It doesn't have a ball joint anywhere. But it does have this hinge system, and I don't know, I'm going to try to get up to the camera. Can you see the eye? Cameraman? Okay. If you look and you see the mono eye has this gimmick, like the Zaku, that it turns. It doesn't work too well on this kit, because the head is a little bit too big for it, for the gears. But you can get it if you push down on it, the eye to swivel with it, or stay in motion and turn with the head. That's the articulation for that. The shoulders go 360. And you knock off spikes. That is one downside. These spikes here do come off on my kit quite a bit. I'm going to probably end up gluing these down on there, which isn't a big deal really. I really don't do the arm swinging thing with the with the Kampfer, so it doesn't really matter for the most part, except when I'm on camera. But the shoulder pads themselves are on the hinge joint that the Zaku would normally have, or its shoulder pads, so you can do that. You can move it out of the way to get the shoulder up about that high. It makes it have an awkward look to it though, so I don't do it that often. Then, of course, when I'm trying to record this is when everything goes wrong. You have a double jointed elbow, which gives you about 180 degrees, and it's unhampered by the shoulder pad at all. You would normally, in this inner frame, have this hinge right here that's on a ball joint, but because of how the armor goes on, you lose that, but the hands on a ball joint and on a swivel joint, so you can bend it that way, you can bend it in. The hands are the 2.0 hands, which these three at the knuckle, or at the knuckles are connected, are the main hand, and then the knuckles themselves bend independently, and then the thumb is independent on a ball joint. And then you have a waist. Oh, that helps anyway. Why not? Hold on. Technical difficulties here, folks. Okay. Now, I'll leave the leg off for a second just to show you that it swivels a little bit at the waist, but you're not going to get a full 360. The leg itself, you get about that far of a bend. You do get a double knee joint, but because of the armor and the thruster here, you have, that's the best you're going to get out of that. Up here, you get a rotate, and it only gets blocked by this when it's on the hip. And then, hold on. Look at the lovely box for a second. There we go. Now, the hip joint, everything that wants to fall off will step on it, of course, but the hip joint can go all the way out, but it's going to sink, and over time it will go all the way down. Mine's not as loose as some other people's, but it is very loose. Well, not very loose, but it will loose and sink, so you might want to keep the feet well planted. Now, you do have, okay, you have an ankle pivot and swivel, and the foot will go like that. No downwards movement. None of the thrusters on the legs actually move. And I am really making this kit seem 1,000 times worse than it actually really is, but no. I'm going to let this keep on going, because you need to see the problems that you'll come into when you're trying to pose this. But that was articulation. And with that popping off, we will move to weapons. I guess I'll start with the shotguns. You get 2 of them. I'll explain this in a second. But this has a movable camera, both sight, that I painted red on. It comes with the stock that you can take off, which I cannot take off on mine, because when putting it together, the little hinge that attaches inside here broke, so I had to glue it. That's pretty much what you get with that. And then you get this piece right here to connect it to the back skirt arm. And literally, that's all you do is you pop this open, pop it in, and you connect it to the back skirt arm, which fell off, by the way. So, there you go with that. Let me swivel this thing around. Try to plug this right back in. There we go. Now we'll get to the other 2 weapons. Now we'll get to the bazookas, which currently have the things you need to plug into the back. But the bazooka comes in all black. I painted the camera on it blue, simply because it was the only Gundam marker I had on me at the time. So, but the handle moves. Sorry, complete brain lapse there. And to plug it in, you make sure that this little nub is facing diagonally upward, starting to lean towards the barrel. You get it on this side, and you plug it into the back. And I'm leaving that off right now because I'm going to knock it off anyway. And the other bazooka fits on the other side, simply for simplicity of time. I'm not going to show you. But then you get his chain mine weapon thing, which for mine, no way can I keep these evenly spaced, so it looks kind of weird at places. But it's pretty nice. It does have pegs on one side of the handle so you can plug it into the hand, which I will demonstrate here for a whole second. And I'll say this about the chain weapon. Once you get it plugged in, it is very nice. Well, no, it don't want to work with me, but it'll plug in very nicely and stay there, secure. If you move it too much, it's going to pop off, but besides that, that's the problem with all peg weapons. And Now, one other thing about the shotgun is I'm about to mount into the hand. You see it has a little slot here that's supposed to fit in the peg in the hand. Well, it won't. I'm telling you this now. How the hand is, it's way too close up here for you to peg it in. You're going to pop the finger off every time. But that's not necessarily a deal breaker, because not very well, but if you put it to the side and fix the hand properly and ordinate it properly and push it in towards the body, it will hold it in a semi-nice-ish pose. It's more just for show and to have it on its hip when all the other weapons are on. If you take that off, about to get to my main point of this kit, and there's a reason why I'm not going to edit this out and all the parts popping off. One being, I have no editing tools right now. That's beside the point. That's my own personal problem. The main reason being, because pretty sure y'all want to see what issues you'll really want to run into with the kit. So, it'll hold these perfectly fine without a peg. It'll hold them, it'll pop into the shoulder. Pop into this one a little bit better because of the lack of spikes. But it can hold them perfectly fine and dandy. Now, I'll put him back here for right now. Now, I know I made this look like a completely horrible kit, because things kept popping off. When you buy this kit, you can probably get it for around 40 bucks. 40 to 50. And that's an okay price for this, because it's not made to be played around like a Bandai kit. It's not made to be held, messed around like high grades or anything. No master grade is. But I would say it's a good kit, and I would recommend you buying this. At least if you can't get a hold of the original Kampfer. But you have to be aware that there are some pieces you will have to end up gluing. If you don't like gluing your kits, it's going to, I would avoid it, but if you want to. But if you're okay with gluing or okay with custom painting and modifying it yourself, I say buy. Well, that's all I have for y'all. Hopefully this was smoother than my first one. But this is Van Hyren, waving goodbye.